And now, The Bonfire with Big Jay Oakerson and Dan Soder.
We're at 352 start.
You're a 352 start.
Dan's already got this going on.
Don't think I can do it again? Watch me.
You think he can't? Timing Dan? Old Timing Dan.
Old clock keeper Dan.
Man,
living in his tower.
We rolling?
We are rolling. It is the Lost Tapes, an actual Lost Tapes on the Bonfire Faction Talk, Sirius XM 103. I'm Dan Soder. That's Big Jay Oakerson.
Hey.
We're joined by Christine Evans, super producer, and soon to be joined by Josh Adam Myers, who is
grabbing AA bats.
A shaggy cartoon dog turned human.
The shaggy DJ.
He's got a voice like he's like a scruffy dog named Banjo.
Yeah.
He's like, guys.
But I do want to go. I do want to go to the park. Take me to the park.
I'm telling you, there's a bunch of bones buried under the old man Smothers' farm.
Yeah, get me to the park. Yeah.
And I'm just a big bear. I'm just a big bloodhound, and I'm like, there ain't nothing under there, Josh.
Josh runs up to you and goes, "Hey, you got cancer."
Oh man,
I smell it.
I'm a cancer-smelling dog, and it don't smell too good for you.
Hey,
you got herpes. I'm a herpes-smelling dog.
Also, there's a bomb in your kid's school.
In another universe, I'm talking to Steve Kerr about NWA's album.
Hey, Josh Dog.
Josh Dog. We are doing the first Bonfire from the new Oakerson
Oakerstein?
The Oakerstein estate.
Why are we not been called Oakerstein all this time?
As we're calling it now, the CEO's office. This is former banker. If you think about it like that, this used to be an office.
Oh yeah, it looks Terminator timelines. This is Dan's first time now.
Yeah,
in our new. But this is my first time. I've only been here 5 hours more than you.
Since you're fresh in it. Mm-hmm. How was it walking in here with your bags from the airport? Did it feel like, were you a little frustrated on the way back to the airport? Were you scared at all in the elevator? Because you knew the place, but you didn't see it moved in yet.
I saw Christine show me some video, but it's still on my phone, you know?
Sure.
And so I didn't get a grip on it. But I mean, I knew it looked nice. I could tell she did a good job. But and Christine did. She busted her ass this whole weekend. I said we had the movers come and move.
Okay.
Pack and move. And then Christine... the whole weekend, just like.
And you, Christine,
I mean, look, she hung like every picture and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
did you hang? Who hung the TV?
We had people come hang the TV. Yeah.
And the one in the guest bedroom.
Yeah. So Jay bought this TV for the living room from Best Buy before he went away for the weekend, and then he hired the installation to all come at once and just install.
Smart.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The TV is awesome. You look at it; it's a movie theater.
This is a little history because you said this was an office building. This building's only
guys.
Oh wait, no, I'll give away exactly what it is. Never mind, strike that.
Christine's by herself most weekends, and she is not aware of her surroundings.
She goes, I'm guessing you could probably jump in here from across the way. But anyways, we have one of our late night door guys has a peanut allergy. So
you could put him down in a snap.
Yeah, you just take a bite of a PB&J and breathe in his face. He's toast.
I started really, and I tell you what, I think it's going to go a long way. I started really right away downstairs schmoozing up and just politeness and trying to remember names. I'm going to say them out loud now. So I got Christopher, Corey, and Anthony. Anthony's an Eagles fan.
Okay.
Anthony, right? And then I'm learning their names right because I'm telling you, if you chum me up to the guys here, I have a feeling there's a lot of people in this building that are going to like me and Christine because I bet a lot of people in this building treat them like the hell.
Oh, you're looking at rule number 47 in Small Talk Dan's Bible of winning them over.
If for me it's worth an extra minute or two. I always did with Bob, our super almost. Yeah. Like I'll just walk by those guys and have like a little like, how's it going tonight, guys? Anything crazy happening on the streets? And you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And cool, you still, blah, blah, blah. The kids going, yeah, okay, well, we're going to.
You know what it is? What you're basically just explaining is you're just going to be decent to people that work in your building, which is funny because I've never had a door guy in a door guy building. But when I dated that wealthy girl, she was like, you're weird. Because, I mean, it was weird. This actually was kind of dumb. I was stoned, and I was going to Duane Reade. It was around Easter, so it was when they were selling those mini eggs. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to go get some mini eggs and a fucking ginger ale. And I went downstairs, and the guy was like, all right. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to Duane Reade. He's like, cool. Like, you want anything? You want like a soda or anything? And he was like, nah, man, I'm good. And I was like, was that bad? Was it bad that I offered you that? Like, I didn't know. But he's like, nah, man, it's fine. Then you realize that he's treated so shitty that me even offering him a soda.
Why were you stupid?
But because I don't know. Because when I went back upstairs, I was like, yeah, I offered him a soda. Is that
and she said you were stupid?
And she's like, why? You're weird. Why are you doing that?
It's not weird.
Okay.
Fuck her.
But that's what I mean. These people are not decent.
That's how people live. I'm telling you, I've the face is on, and sometimes, every now and again, they'll say yes. But like, if I get sometimes I get an Uber. Like, you know, when you're on the road and you're like, shit, there's nothing by the hotel. Like for the Uber guy, you're like, would you mind like swinging by this Starbucks or anything? And he goes, yeah, sure. I always go, do you want something, man? Yeah. 100% of the time. If the driver who's taking me from the airport to the hotel on the road, stops at a gas station for me, always, you want some water? Or I'll just grab him water if it's like, if I know it's hot or something. It's like,
It's because we're all staff. This is a come up for us. So it's like when you're used to being staff.
Bitch, I ain't never been staff.
Yeah.
Well,
you change your fucking tone.
You get wildly offended. That's the one thing you get offended by.
Christine, I've never been that.
You get wildly offended. That's the one thing you get offended by.
Christine, I've never been the help. No, I've always worked like I work labor jobs or nonsense teenager jobs.
I think just what you see in situations like this is it's a very nice building. It's got a lot of people that probably didn't earn the rent. There's a lot of people that don't know.
I'm sure. I'll tell you what I noticed
there's
outside.
People in this building that don't know how much their rent costs.
And just today, I'm sure, on this day, the first day I've been here, outside, going outside to smoke cigarettes and shit, like the other people that come out and smoke, for the most part, and what I've seen is people walking out of the building, not a lot of like smiles. Like it really is like frowny people. There's like this apartment to them is not like the biggest deal in their life. They're like, yeah, sure. It's what I need an apartment in New York. Like what?
It's also, I know the neighborhood, and I know this is one of the cheapest neighborhoods in Manhattan. So anybody in this building that has an attitude, it's like, well, what are you doing here then? Like, why aren't you on the Upper East?
Yeah. But I think Manhattan in general is, you're seeing also, because of the pandemic, a lot of people that were like on this cloud of wealth. Now other people are like, yeah, I found a ladder. The cloud came down. And they're like, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So
we look like riffraff.
But it's great. You guys also, like I said when we all walked in, when I met Josh and Jay outside, I was like, we look like we're a heist crew.
Yeah, we're scoping the place.
Coming in here to get it. Speaking of which.
There's all sight lines over there that they can see us, and so we're good to go.
We're in the crosses right here. Joining us from the 500 podcast. You can sit in that chair if you want. From the 500 podcast, it's Josh Adam Myers. Well, welcome back to the show. We've agreed that your voice is that of a scruffy animated dog.
What's wrong?
Josh ruining my whole life.
That's more of a carpet. The carpet sucks.
Just pull the wheel up on it. There you go. Now you're riding. Oh, and you still got it.
You don't need help for that. You need help for that?
Dude, watching him, he's just butchering this carpet. And watching Christine not take it well, it's very entertaining. I'm going to stay over here. All right, Hardwood Josh.
Josh is going to bust a pipe tonight or something. He's going to something else. Guys.
Hey, you guys are gonna be mad at me, but it turns out one of those windows doesn't roll down in the guest room.
Men.
Turns out also
Christine's getting over Josh.
He goes, getting over men.
He goes, also your neighbor on the other side of the wall doesn't like my morning wall kicks that I do to keep my agility.
Hey Christine, just for the record, man afforded you this apartment.
Whoa.
So let's not
Lesson
say.
in the patriarchy.
I'm getting sick of listening to patriarchy.
Uh-oh. It's Patriarchy Thursday.
I thought it was a joint lease.
Oh.
Huh?
I thought we were both on the lease.
Sure. Hey, but I need.
I thought I was still paying into the apartment.
Christine, I need you to cover me for rent the next couple months.
Well, I can't cover you, but I could cover me. Am I a sugar baby now? Am I rent free?
Oh, dude, it's so funny if Christine had to sugar baby out to afford this apartment.
Ooh.
There's things you could do to be a sugar baby that you are not doing. if you acted more sugar baby-ish.
No, that's why I pay the rent.
Man, we never followed up on our profiles.
Oh, our sugar baby profiles?
Yeah, dude. I could have a fucking daddy right now. We signed up for him.
Did you really?
On air. Back in the studio days. Back before the... Yeah. Remember the olden times?
Wait, I was saying about this guy this weekend in the audience of... what's wrong? You can say
They're just moving.
Everybody good? We're figuring it out.
You guys are finding the angles? We're learning the acoustics of the room?
You guys are keeping it sexy. Straight
That's
sexy.
what I love. You guys are moving, grooving.
This is Jay's speed right now, man. Lights out, can't see shit.
Oh, yeah. Everyone
Dan likes this.
Lost Boy style.
Dan's all about this.
I love this shit. I love this fucking desert vibe.
This guy this weekend in Ohio, Liberty, Ohio, in the audience, Josh had talked to him and his wife. I guess he's an older guy, 50s probably, and like late 50s, early 60s maybe. And he just goes, I was like, enjoying the show so far, and he was like, yeah. I was like, "What's wrong? You're not enjoying? I'm always so genuine with that too. Like, what's wrong? What are you not enjoying?" And he's like, "No, it's just some of your opinions. I questioned them. I go, what opinions?" He goes, "I just think you got some pretty questionable opinions on women."
All right.
And I go, "Which women?"
Yeah.
He goes, "In general." I go, "No, I know." Like, it's like they don't even get the joke with them.
Yeah.
Like, no, I know you meant all women. I go, "But what are the opinions that you're thinking?" He goes, "You just, some of them are out there." I go, "Right, but what are they?" It's like it just got to me. It wasn't as serious with the guy as it was where I said the stuff I'm getting sick of in comedy. It's just that, like, why would you stunt everything and just be a cunt to say your opinion? What opinions? He has no answer. Yeah. He has no idea. He's just listening to the tone of what I'm saying and not listening to the words. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also
so annoying. You're like, it's like, he just couldn't. He looked like an ass. I go, "You think I'm going to worry about?" Because I'm taking advice on how to deal with women from some backwoods fucking Pennsylvania fucking hillbilly,
Ohio hillbilly,
wearing a NASCAR T-shirt. You fuckstick.
I don't think you're going to maximize your crops treating women the way you do.
Like, what a moron!
But you
got some opinions on women. What opinions are so crazy? What have I said that blows your mind? I'm sure it's a joke, or was it? It was just. All of it. I'm like, what? Say a thing. Tell me a thing that you have a problem with.
I'll tell you right now, I think you think suffrage didn't go as bad as it was. And honestly, I would like to know if you've ever read any Emily Dickinson.
But I said before, I go, no, it's fine. I go, he's just trying to, he probably only fucks this bag once a year or two. So this is the night he's trying to show, remember I stood up?
Right after that, he goes, "Give a fast rub OTP for your daddy fighting for you."
OTP me.
He goes, "Let the lady speak for herself." Are you married to an ugly woman, sir? With that guy, what's weird about that is the age of that guy. Because I could see a person in their 20s being like, questionable opinions.
He's the social justice warrior of Ohio, dude.
At 50?
That's his game,
dude.
Man.
The gray sheriff.
It was the cops joke. It was the cops joke that did it because you did that right before you started talking to him.
And dude,
absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you right now, a city with a town called Liberty, probably blue lives really matter.
Oh, they matter.
Well, it's funny. I realized being there, two things that were a bummer to realize, and I got reminded while I was there. I'm like, last time I was in Liberty, Ohio, was the weekend Kimowitz.
Yeah.
For the listeners, my former manager, the late, great Dave Kimowitz, found out he got killed while I was out there.
Yeah.
Just at the shows anyway. But I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, that was here. And then
if you really wanted to sink home, you could phrase it differently as a murder, because that's what it was. Your friend was murdered.
To let you know how slowed down the fucking world was over COVID, that... So I was there, I guess, about a year. That'd be a year and a half ago.
2019.
So, right?
I was in
the end of 2019. And when I was out there also, that's the place. Within the joke, I don't want to tell anything, but within the joke of telling the story of like a young white girl coming at me after the show. I always go. I go, a young white girl in Cincinnati, Ohio. I always say that in the joke. And I'm like, and one of the sets, I go, a young white girl. Oh shit! Here,
yeah, it hit you.
I was like, it was this fucking club. Yeah, it was out front here. It was out front here. That girl.
That yeah, man. It's just weird that an older dude would do that. But you're right. After a cop joke, he's like, well, let me find a way to make everyone on.
I had an issue with him too, though. Well, I forget what it was. Like he said something, or we were talking about like, being old, and then it started getting into like him getting a blowjob from the girl, and he was like into that. He's into like
dude,
all
if
of that
Josh
stuff.
sees an elderly couple, he's not gonna leave the stage before he hunches over and says, "You gotta suck his dick tonight."
Don't say it like that's basically how I say it. Never mind. Yeah,
We said Josh.
it's a spot on impersonation.
When you were gone, we were doing Josh.
That's what I told him.
Yeah, Shaggy Dog come to life. He goes, "There's a bomb in that building. I smell it."
This guy's got 3 kilos of China White on him.
Yeah, your daughter's bones are underneath this brick.
PCP amphetamines.
Hold on,
right there.
I just had to chase a perp down the street. Can I have some of that water?
I'm a good boy. Yes,
You got canine dogs.
Yeah.
I was being. It's just funny that you said
Better put on a padded glove.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but what?
PD. I was supposed to play that drug sniffing dog. Well, I wasn't supposed to. We get down to me and Kyle Kinane. Kyle always takes good voiceover jobs from me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's still the voice of the Bonfire.
We're so similar, and it's like,
Here's the voice of the Bonfire. Yeah, he is the voice of the Bonfire.
is he still?
Yeah.
I think so. I think they still use Kyle's.
And now the Bonfire. Yeah. David Bory.
It just says now the Bonfire.
David, yeah. That,
Doesn't
but
say
back on Comedy Central, David Bory did like our commercials, but it was
Yeah.
still Kyle Kinane.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It was a weird. Dude, a girl.
Did
had
your
a
dad
seizure.
show up?
No, a girl. And I didn't take hours from him. Girl had a seizure.
That broke
Before
my
the
heart,
show
man,
and had to
because
leave.
They look like die-hard fans that were waiting for this show.
And that, what sucks about people that have seizures is
I told them
how
come to
bad
Columbus.
they feel after.
Yeah.
They're like, you think I want to do this?
They want to do stuff, and they want to, like, they know they just embarrass all of their friends.
They wake up and they go, fuck.
Dude, it's so shitty. It's so shitty, but immediately as soon as we walked away from them, I was like, guys, and I mean it, by the way, and if you're listening, come to Columbus. I will get you 4 tickets for that group. It was so, I felt so bad for them. We were in there going, like, the guy didn't have a door to the show. You're like, so how long you been with this guy? She goes, oh, we've been together for about 9. So it's like, put a fucking wall in her mouth. Dude.
She's biting her tongue. She's biting her tongue.
Oh, God. Oh, I tripped the wire. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Was it a certain word?
Yeah. She goes, if he doesn't watch his mouth, I'm probably going to leave him for one of his friends.
Someone had a fucking seizure one time when I was at a concert, and it was right by me. And you're like trying to look at the concert, but then also check in on them. Where you're like, "Are you okay?" And then they're like, "All right, how you doing, Denver?" And you're like, "Good. Hold on." Because it was in the back, so no one knew it. It was like in a circle. And this lady was like, and then they got her up and left, and we were all like, how fast do we go back to enjoying the music?
Immediately.
Just like dance back, and you're like, hey, all right.
I've never
the
seen
comedy show.
My dad had a seizure in front of me and Dave Smith.
That was like the
Really?
first time you saw him in years, too, right?
No, I saw him a little bit, but Dave had never met him
That's
before.
what it was. It was when he met Dave.
It was
Because
me
I remember
and Dave.
God, what did Dave do?
Helped me pick him up off the floor for a second. And then a bunch of old black ladies came over and they go, he did. And then my dad popped up. He shot up. I mean, like a rocket. He got up so fast, and then he was so humiliated. He didn't want to accept that it had happened. And he started George Jefferson walking like that. I think
So
he goes, I'm cool.
That's like,
And then
did
all
you-
day he just kept saying it was like, if you
all
get something
right?
cold. No, I'd say to him, yeah, I go, are you okay? He goes, oh, I'm fine, man. He goes, it's just like, if I just get a cold glass of water would be good. And then we ordered pizza, me, him, and Dave. And I go, he goes, yeah. He goes, well, you know what? Throw on just like an ice cold soda. And he goes, yeah. He goes, and a soda. I think Dave was already. He goes, and a soda. He goes, ice. You tell them ice cold soda.
Hey, Mr. O, I feel like you're not telling us something.
Hey, Mr. O.
Dude, Mr. O.
Mr. O, you okay?
Man.
Some cool.
Just cool, maybe a wet rag I could put over my face.
Dude, he doinked his head on a fucking concrete trash can.
Well, I know you guys
and then fell asleep 15 minutes in the beginning of my room, and I was like, all right. He could die, right, if it's a concussion. I was like, I don't know what to do, though. He fell asleep. I'm not going to go, stay awake, Ted.
I know you guys were doing shows, but Stipe getting knocked out. He tried to get up.
I ordered it last night.
Yeah, he tried to get up too fast after, and they're like, don't let him get up. And then he kind of got up like your dad, where he was like, what's up? So it's the third round? And they're like,
he goes,
sit down.
Yeah, he goes, how long was I out?
Yeah.
I didn't even feel, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
He's a tough son of a bitch.
I'll tell you what, I can't believe, like, I think he has to sit significant time for something he's tore in that leg. I mean, that was crazy. What his leg did at the end.
Oh, when he bent at the end?
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts looking.
Well, dude, Tyrone Woodley was more scary than that. That knockout where his legs were all stiff and he was like walking.
He just wasn't going down. Yeah, it was
to the
for so long.
So tough. He's so tough he wouldn't go down. The guy was just fucking clocking him, and he's like,
it's 4 in a row.
Oh, God, dude.
It's 4 in a row. It's 4 in a row. He's a gatekeeper now.
That Tyrone Woodley walk, I was like, please go down.
Was that the guy that bent backwards? Like,
no, that was
legs?
Stipe.
No, that was Stipe. His leg went backwards. That was the main event.
He was the nicest guy in the world. So bless you. I hope he gets another fight and wins. And
no, he's not done at all. I think Tyrone Woodley is done. I think he's a gatekeeper now. He'll be a fight. He'll never make a run for the championship again. That's 4 in a row.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You just sneezed laying down flat. How is that?
It's horrible.
I hate it.
Oh, all the things everywhere. Oh man,
I hate it so hard.
We got to get those drops from fucking. If you watch Temptation Island on USA, how dare you for not telling us that they say the word "the bonfire" at least 20 times an episode,
and like in a great way,
in great ways, where they're like, "I'll see tonight at the bonfire." We just need it for a little.
That's
small
like their
drops.
tribunal
that's
every
their
episode.
tribunal. So it's just our radio show's name for the tribunal.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's fucking perfect.
Everyone said we were asses when we called it this name.
Yeah. If we called it the Big Jay and Dan show, we would sound like a couple.
Which, by the way, if they didn't ask us to be creative at all, it would have just been called the Big Jay and
Were
Dan
there
show.
other-
It would have been Big Jay and Soder, yeah.
All right, ladies, that's your first bonfire. Hopefully you got some answers here tonight.
I feel so confused.
Were there other options
For the show title?
Yeah, what were the
Well,
other-
It
the
just
reason-
couldn't be us. It couldn't be our names.
Yeah, because that was the whole problem with the contract was they were like,
Or it could have been my name, but it would have been like that.
Yeah,
No,
because-
let's just make it like a universal.
yeah, they're like, give us an evergreen name in case Dan,
Yeah.
because they didn't have a contract on me.
It would have been great if you left though, and I just kept calling it the Jay and Dan. Or,
Yeah.
or if you ever leave,
Yeah.
just then call it the Jay and Dan show.
The Jay and Dan show with Big J and Mike Fenoya. And Mike's like, hey, amigo, I wouldn't mind having my name in the title. It could help move some tickets.
But dude, how hard it was for me to get Faction Talk, Sirius XM 103,
Yeah,
dude.
the time
You think
out.
me getting the Big J and Fenoya show? It's
Which is
going
going
to
to
take
be
me
funny
forever.
if they ever did a press photo. It'd be like Big J, and then it'd say Mike Soder Fenoya. He goes,
Soder.
It's not. It was the guy that was here before me.
And then he gets his nickname. That's great.
Also, I want points.
What's up, Mikey Soder?
Yeah,
Mikey
he's like-
Sodes?
It's like a wrestling thing. I had to take the name, amigo.
Soder Fenoya.
Man, having a new place. It's only. Oh, I can't give away how old it is.
10 years.
Dude, there's
You
buildings
can,
up all the
yeah.
time in New York. You guys don't have to worry about it being haunted. That's pretty sick.
You think the fans are going to find it?
Yeah.
There was something.
I
there
found a
before.
code for my phone from watching the fucking YouTube videos.
They found the hooker
Yeah.
very, very
Was
quickly.
whatchamacallit's thing publicized at all?
Whose thing?
What happened to a friend of ours, we'll say, who's on late night television?
I don't know what you're talking
Something weird happened in his house.
about. It was on TMZ, I believe, was where you found it.
Found what?
The thing about the guy we know
Pete.
and the stalker.
Oh, yeah, that was the
That's public news.
It was public
all
news.
over
Yeah,
every-
no,
yeah,
it's not like Pete told me that.
Oh,
Yeah, a lady walked into Pete's house and sat on his couch.
A woman who claims she was married to Pete Davidson was charged for multiple crimes, including stalking the SNL star.
I said, just like
Wild.
he wasn't there. It was like just like she belonged there.
Well,
I'm like,
she
no
put out a
weapon
press
or anything?
statement the day before saying that he had started a production company with her, who's his wife and business partner. And then his lawyer was like, that is not true. And then the next day she just walked in this motherfucker's house.
She goes, is it not true, Pete? Then why am I sitting in your house?
Then why am I eating your snacks on our couch? You're like,
How did you know I love pizza-flavored Pringles?
He goes, honestly, I'm not even there.
He goes, I just got a limited dish of flavors on.
Dude, it's so funny, too, because when you think of everyone that we know in comedy, you never... I mean, Pete's the most famous. Like, he's the one that's, like, famous.
Sure.
But he's the last person I would think that would have the fucking... what's the Glenn Close where she boils
Fatal
the meth?
Attraction.
Yeah. I didn't think Pete would have a moment where a woman's just sitting in his couch and he's like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? Just because I've known Pete since he was 16.
Hi.
Like, I would think, like,
How are you?
there's a lot of guys I know that are way more like pussy hounds or whatever that you'd be like, oh, you would be the guy to get it. And instead it's like,
are you a friend of my mom?
oh, you must be friends with my sister. Anyways, I'm going to go smoke a blunt. Bye.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Because Pete's just so chill that he's like, oh, cool. Are you friends with Ricky Velez? Okay, I got to go. Bye.
Enjoy the place.
Later. Yeah, but that's got to be such a scary moment. The moment you walk in and someone's just sitting in your house and you're like, it's always the same. It has to be the first words out of your mouth are always, can I help you? I don't know why you feel like you don't want to be rude to that person.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though, and this is where I need a Louis J. Gomez for this conversation, possibly.
Yeah.
Someone's sitting in your house like that, you make an argument they're dangerous. They came into your house.
Sure.
You could try some fucking fancy kicks or something if you just want to try. Yeah,
dude,
I mean,
if you don't think that girl's not getting rock bottom through my fucking... First off, I'm going to power bomb her. Like, I'm going to give her a jackknife old Kevin Nash style where I toss her head in between my legs and then I look around the room.
Yeah, what's
and
up?
When I fucking flip her. Dude, she's getting F5. She's getting attitude adjustment.
You're going to try all that.
If you think I'm not
shit.
going through a lengthy submission holds, neck down.
Oh, and make her tap. I'm going to see if I can make her tap 5 times in a minute.
I'm going to do camel clutch. I'm going to do...
You're still going to make her submit with actual wrestling moves?
Yeah, I'm gonna do figure
four leg lock.
And by the way, I would
Boston Crab.
would never put hands on a woman. But if I'm defending myself and I just so happen to take her to Suplex City...
But Dan,
There's nothing wrong with a figure 4 leg lock.
but it's defending yourself, Dan.
Yeah, exactly, Jay.
No,
but can I be honest? I don't like your opinion on women sometimes.
But I don't know if we're arguing the same thing here. Would you say that defending yourself is a situation? She doesn't have a knife.
Sure.
She might have something in her pockets.
I don't know what she has on her.
You don't know what she has on her, but nothing's in her hands and feet, and she's coming up, and she seems like there's obviously she's berserk, and
Sure.
she just broke into your house.
Well,
I'm saying, are you in defense mode now? Are you defending your life now?
oh,
Even though she looks like an unarmed girl.
I would have to say the second I caught temperature of her attitude.
No, and she
if it
does this, and she does this. She goes, "What do you mean? I'm your wife."
Yeah. Then
At
I'll
that point,
tell you what.
can you get physical?
Then I'm telling you right now, brother, you lock the door.
Yeah.
It's a false count anywhere for that winged eagle belt that's up on my wall.
I'm trying this one where it snaps the egg. I'm gonna try Jean Claude. Yeah, he goes.
People have gotten shot for less, and the people that shot the person got off.
Yeah.
So you
mean
have every right to. If a Boston crab.
The bullet holes make me come.
Oh, fuck, the loss of life. If you fucking lose it. If you think that I'm not hooking the leg and getting a 3 count at the end of all of it, before I call the cops, if I'm pulling up a leg and calling back
Great,
and going,
dude. Fucking
one,
Katie just slides in.
Katie comes back out from under the bed.
Yeah.
It's like
Slided in, yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then I put that gold eagle over, and Myrtle gets in the ring. Dude, yeah, I would 100%. I would start probably with I'm going to take it back to an old school Bonfire reference. Lariat. I'm starting with a mean lariat, one that'll fold her like a chair.
Josh, you're not a big guy, so like it wouldn't look so bad in the newspapers if you did. But I mean, if I did it, they're gonna be like, you couldn't have restrained her. Like, could have.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, could have. I chose to do it this way.
Well, also-
you defend your way how you want to defend yourself in your house.
What's great about a lot of the finishers I've been describing, all back, a head, and body stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
Oh yeah, can I put her in a? Oh, you're right. You break into my house, I'll tell you right away. You're gonna be in $1 million dream, and I'm gonna make you say things while you're in it.
you know what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna make you
Is
say
you're gonna stuff
stuff.
the 100 in her mouth. When you're done. I'll go full Brutus the Barber Beefcake and cut her hair. After
With the giant
I'm
clippers.
definitely cutting her hair,
you crazy stalker breaks into my house,
dude. You're walking out with shaved part of your head.
I'm giving you an angle. I'm giving you a Kurt Angle ankle lock. 100%. I might start with the Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin music. That might be the only
I'll
face
tell you what,
contact
you
get.
depends where you're at in my place, dude. You might catch a honky tonk man with that acoustic across the back of your head.
I'm thinking, now, of course, we're talking man finding a woman finding a man in your house. Run.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, run.
Yeah,
you
for
can't
sure.
stay. But I'm saying a man finding a woman.
A man
in
finding a
your
woman in your
house.
house.
You can lock the door, and it's SummerSlam.
Well, listen, because
Dude,
I
I just start putting athletic tape around my wrist, and I go, cutting a promo. Here's the thing, sister.
Because I'm saying, real genuinely, if a girl can like fight a little bit and she's a larger woman, like legitimately, it's like she could be a problem physically. Even though it's like
Yeah.
I think you'll win, she could be a problem physically. You know what I mean? Where it's like not super easy, so it's like you may have to consider. And I'm telling you, dude, a big old Samoan. What's the lady from that was in Glow Wrestling?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Mount whatever.
Yeah.
Mount Fiji. Mount Fiji, dude, would put you through a closet.
Yeah, it's a big problem. You have a woman over $2 bills coming in angry.
Yeah.
If she's got
yeah.
any athleticism, it's going
Josh,
to
she
be
would pick you up like fucking Thunderlips picked up
Beat the
Rocky.
shit out of me, yeah.
I don't know if she'll beat the shit out of you.
Oh, dude! And as you're being lifted above her head, you'd be like, "Well, now calm down, lady. Hold on, gorilla press." She's like, "Ah."
Do you see? Is there something in there?
There's stuff in there.
Oh, there is. Do you see this?
Yeah, I saw it. I read a little said crackle crackle on the piece, on the bowl piece. Well, thank God, fucking Pete's all right.
Thank God, dude. That's great. That's really terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, to have someone just walk into your house and sit down on your
He
couch.
wasn't home, Christine. Oh, too bad, man. He's got he's got those rubber band arms, Pete. Man, oh, dude, he could have thrown her in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's long, so
he's
got
made
reach.
for
He can get her
made
in-
for submissions.
Yeah, if he had maybe even low-level jiu-jitsu training, he could be throwing her in a ton of very precarious situations.
He's young and athletic, probably too, so he could probably throw like a real like what I'd like to see. First, I'm definitely gonna try Karate Kid, the crane kick. I'm gonna, or at least lift the one knee first and then go with the other leg.
See, that's what I mean.
The switch kick?
Best of both worlds. I'm Shawn Michaels. I'm starting up the band and I'm fucking super kicking her. And I'm slapping my leg.
I'll try
That
to.
sounds better.
I'll try to stun her on a bed.
Stunner is going to hurt you,
On a bed. That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna see if I can get like the shoulder into her face.
but you
know
could
what I mean?
RKO her on the floor and you just take the bump on your back.
If you do it on the bed, you're still gonna fuck their shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pile driver's too. That's too.
You could break her neck.
It's fatal.
DDT?
Yeah, DDT, going to break her neck.
No. Oh, definitely. What's the small package?
Let's roll her up.
Small package
Roll
roll
up
up.
for
I'll
a
get my
quick-
pinfall like that. I'll get my pinfall like that. Dude.
I would even do a small package with a little bit of tights pulling and just hold
Oh,
it.
cheat a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, absolutely.
No, submission moves would be the best in catching a woman in your house.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Now,
Because the
Christine-
ligament damage on the knees is going to last forever.
So never break into a house ever again.
When she's in some woman's prison
I threw you
for
in-
fucking breaking in, and they're like, hey, Shamrock, what's wrong with your left knee? And she goes, remember that guy's house I broke into? Well, he had me in a figure four for over 4 minutes. I flipped it, and then he flipped it back.
I throw an average-sized woman.
Dave Meltzer gave me 5 stars.
I throw an average-sized woman in a figure four leg lock. If she's walking out, she one of her knees are busted.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're going to tear cartilage. A sharpshooter will do a lot of damage, knee and back.
So don't fucking break into my house.
That's all we're
ladies.
saying. You come to the Oakerson residence,
Know what's happening.
just know the excellence of execution's coming for your legs.
Now I got another great question here.
Yeah.
Another great question. That is for Christine. You come home and find a woman in the house.
Yes. Now we're at it.
Yeah.
What you take? You still get the fuck out of Dodge.
If if I came home and saw anybody in my house, I would immediately split. I
Smart.
would just run. I would turn and I would run as fast as possible.
Smart.
Somebody in my house is like, for men, I know what you guys feel, but for me,
if it's almost any dude, if it's almost any,
if it's any girl, I have no idea if she has a gun. I have no idea what she is. Like,
you don't know if she has.
If it's almost any dude, I'd fucking run. I guess there's a few that you'd be like, are you in the wrong? Some you could look at and be like, are you in the wrong place? And there's some you could look at and be like, oh, this is like a guy's in here for bad intentions.
Yeah.
When I want to be naughty.
I'm also living in the village by myself for 10 years. Lynn Koplitz has a great joke where she talks about like thinking about how you'd fight off a rapist.
Yeah.
And it's like you do. I'm like, oh, if somebody came to the front door, I'd shut the door, I'd throw the dresser against the wall, and I'd go out the fire escape. Like I would see if I could possibly get out the bathroom window if somebody came in and I was in the shower.
As someone that has been robbed and put at gunpoint and thought
raped.
of those and raped brutally over and over again.
He's never really opened up about that before.
Over and over again, and I asked him, finish in me, and he still didn't. I said, bond me forever with your man glue, and he didn't. No, but I always, because the apartment we lived in had one staircase. We were on the second floor, but we were the whole second floor, and it was one staircase up, one door, and I was always like, what would happen if some shit went down? And I learned you put your hands up, and you go right back in the apartment. So there's like a lot of times you're like, oh, I would do this situation, but then it happens and you go, I'm reacting this way to stay alive.
Sure. No, look, the reality is we have fun here. We say that. The reality is if I walked in and you saw a woman in the house, I would just be like, yeah, something nuts, dude, is going on.
Psychopath.
Dude, the second you call
I'm just dealing with a lunatic. Now,
I mean, the girl that we had a problem with, I mean, if she was in a house at all, that would be
crazy.
Like, terrifying.
But I'm saying, but now as that said, on the slight nature of the fun though, let's just say you discover it and you're pinned in a corner and it's a girl, then power bomb, suplex city.
I only think. Let me be perfectly clear.
You're right. If I'm still in the doorway, I'm outski.
Let me be perfectly clear. I am majority pussy, but if I was pinned.
Yeah, you're fight or flight.
If fight or flight kicks in, where I'll tell you where I go full WWE, where I go full sports entertainment, is once I know I have a leg up in the fight. I'm going to try to get that leg up. I'm scared until I get that leg up because it's a crazy lady. But when I have the leg up, then it starts. You start playing to the last guy, the guy in the last row.
Yeah.
We're like, and just hitting her, lifting her up by the back of her hair to do another move, and she's like, "Ow!" And you're just lifting her up like real wrestling.
I've never considered in any fight I've ever been in, I've never even considered the idea of not getting it like close and like strength's going to be much more involved than like skill of fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like getting it close. What would be fun about being pinned and it's the girl breaking in and she's got...
Well, she got a blade.
Yeah, but you have to fight.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
but you have to fight. It goes.
She got a kitchen knife.
You are kind of excited though to like get like it's like I'm gonna try some distance shit.
Well,
yeah, it's like I'll dance more around.
Yeah.
I go.
Yeah, you'd faint. You're gonna faint a couple times.
They have a kitchen knife, man. Like I watch a lot of those shows on.
Yeah,
ID.
kitchen knife. She
can get you. Like
she can get you.
It's the threat.
How you block it? How you growing for that wrist grab?
It's true. Actually, Dan, come at me like you were a lunatic girl coming at me.
So right here?
I go, yes. I go. I take it, I turn it back, and I stab you in your own neck.
Yeah.
Just with that move. You should do that, dude, or you're a pussy.
I'd probably catch the blade in between both my hands, and I'd go, your training is incomplete.
Your training has failed you.
Your sensei is weak, whoever taught you. But yeah, that's got to be a woman walking in on another woman. You're just like, okay, bye. This is your place now.
You live here. Yeah, welcome. I do, though. I like fantasize.
You wouldn't assume, you just bail, you wouldn't assume it was like, would you think it was like someone I was like fucking who came to do something crazy, or you would just be like,
I think stranger in the house, red flag, run away. Especially where we lived, like here.
If it's like a cousin of mine.
That's what I was just going to say.
She goes, ah!
Hey, Jay, your girlfriend fucking freaked out and ran away. Does she not know I'm staying with you guys?
I want to come down to Mummer's place.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
What were you going to say?
That was the comfort of, even though there was a lot of problems, like more with you than me, but with living on a cop block as a chick, I was just like, I can always run straight to the police.
Yeah, you guys were very
straight to them.
You guys were very, very close to a police station.
A guy tried to rape me on my stoop, no joke, and I was stumbling home drunk. And it was when I first moved there, so I must have been 20.
Maybe he was helping me out of a cab.
No,
I was pretty fucking happy.
No, it was it was super, super gnarly. I was
Is that
drunk.
good? Is it gnarly?
Yeah, it's like aloha. It means a lot of things.
Yo, gnarly is their John.
Yeah.
Yo, I got raped, and that shit was gnarly.
Anything can be gnarly.
Shit was gnar as fuck.
Honestly, catching a fucking midnight drunk rape is nar-nar. Super nar-nar.
Super nar-nar.
You guys, I caught a fucking
gnarly.
back alley, crunchy, nar-nar ass rape. No, you're saying on the stoop, late night.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't even think I like fully processed it too much.
Are you processing it right now?
A little bit. Because it did
What?
nothing.
You're like watching her download
Nothing
it all?
happened. Tried. So,
Yeah.
but did try, and it was when I still lived with Brian.
Yeah.
And I was coming home drunk. I'm getting like a tapping noise, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Probably Thumper Josh.
Yeah, Josh, you can't thump.
I don't feel like I'm thumping.
You might
You're
have been
always-
thumping.
You were thumping. It was you.
Oh, it's just a voice going, get out.
So I was walking home, and this guy I saw was like kind of just being sketchy, and he had a dog, and I immediately was like, "Oh, your dog's so cute!" Like tried to be friendly. I was right.
He was
by
like,
my
she
house.
wants to fuck.
It was.
It
was
comment on my
crazy.
ugly ass dog.
I was like, okay, and he was just like kind of giving me an eye, and I knew I was stumbling. I knew how I looked by myself. But I was on a cop block and I was right by home, and I was trying to put my key in, and the guy started frantically taking off his pants and pulling his dick out on the stoop while I was getting in my house.
What?
Oh my God.
Can I ask you a question?
Nuts.
Was he hard?
I don't know. I was
Okay.
like, he was trying
Was
to.
it big?
And I ran it.
Do you want to be
goes,
with him more than me?
Do you like him? Did he have obliques?
Yeah. But the fact that he just took his pants off and tried to rape you.
I have a friend that she got in Philly raped at gunpoint on her stoop, and it's why with the whole Me Too thing, I go, well, if that's rape, what's it called when you get drunk and fuck somebody and you don't really remember it? Because it's got to be two different things, right? Like there's murder 1 and murder 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Christine takes it straight to the serious every show now.
Yeah. Dude,
But it's
for those of
great.
you at home who can't see, she did take a chair and turn it around and sit in it a la Dangerous
Because,
Minds.
guys, let me tell you something about being a woman on the streets.
She goes, you want to know what these streets are talking about? There's penises coming out of nowhere.
Oh, 'cause
Guys, and you just said the thing that when I walk Myrtle, like at night, and there's like women, they're always like, okay. And they go through it, they're like, all right, bye. And even during the day, it's like, oh yeah, I probably look like a rapist. Where I'm like, talk to my dog.
You should see what the
dog
reaction is
brings
when
them in.
the next time a girl says, you have a nice dog, just start pulling out your fucking dick.
I go,
Oh, you know what's funny? Maybe he thought you said, oh my God, that's a really attractive dong.
oh.
that's probably it.
you
And he was like,
slurred.
oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. He goes, you should check it out in person. I mean,
goes-
you're just seeing the sheath.
He goes, oh, you want to do a little front porch play?
Brian ran down the street. It was so funny because I ran laughing.
I'm saying it was your fault.
I ran in laughing. I was like, Brian, oh my God, haha, this guy just pulled his dick out on the stoop. And he said, what? And he got like a bat and he started running down the street. And it was something where I was like, ooh, I like living with a straight man.
Yeah.
Living with a straight man's cool.
Did
like,
he go-
I was laughy about it, and his reaction to it and the way he just immediately shifted to like pure fury
Was he-
was
did he catch him?
amazing.
It's cool.
No.
No,
Dude,
I mean,
I
I
don't
caught
think
my guy.
Or maybe
caught
what?
my guy, put him through a fucking window.
But
Because it was
whatever.
a while, it was like a scene, and I got in the house.
Whatever, though. You know, it's
cool.
pretty cool.
No, Brian's pretty awesome, man.
What if we just didn't know that Brian was a fucking hair trigger psycho? And she's like, yeah, this guy pulled his dick out and he grabs an Easton and you just run out and you just hear ting, ting, ting.
I think
Just
Brian
beating a guy to death with an aluminum bat. Ting.
I think Brian, like, you know, despite the alty nature of his hangs, I think Brian's like a dude's dude for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah, I
man.
can
Brian don't
see
fucking
that.
Brian don't fucking throw down.
Yeah, but I'm saying to
I
actually,
have Brian having my back in a place. I feel like he'd make sure everything was good, as I would for him.
I agree, but I'm saying the funny would be hearing him just hauling off on a dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
And Christine's like, maybe I should have said anything. Ting.
He comes in, his blood on the thing. He goes, I'll think twice next time he tries to rape a
I
woman.
need to go throw this in the back. I need to take a shower.
And then Christine just goes,
Burn
actually, the more I think about it, he was just sort of pulling his dick out really raping me. He's like, oh God.
He goes, now that I think about it, I said,
I killed her.
You have a beautiful dong. She remembers it then.
It feels so dramatic to say tried to rape me, but
Well,
what
that's
else
what
would
he
that
did.
be?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
isn't that what he did?
Hey, can you look
Last
at
year, jerk off. I mean, I listen.
He
thank
was
God.
pushing me against my doorstep, pulling his dick out, and
Oh,
he was
oh.
like rushing my keys.
You didn't say that in the
to
first
get in.
description. You didn't say the first description.
Oh, so no, it was
You didn't
like
say he was holding. He was holding you against the wall.
It was not something to be laughed at, and I was really glad Brian.
Well, why don't you
reacted
bring it
the
up on
way
this
he did.
comedy show?
No. I mean, like at the time, like I should have laughed at it.
Yeah, what was the dog doing during the
Looking out.
attempted rape?
Smoking a button. Look, he just watches. He likes to smoke and watch. Yeah.
And before you, yes, that dog was trained.
Grab a titty. Is this a Josh dog?
Wrong, idiot. Don't tie your leash.
Was it Josh dog?
Josh Dog was the lookout for the rape?
Dude,
But that-
the fuzz is coming.
That guy's clearly mentally insane, and if you're going to even
And that's
do
what you
that...
have to worry about as a chick
but
on
also-
the streets. Mentally insane people that will pull
Listen.
their dicks out and rape you.
He's insane, and if I gotta be honest, a terrible rapist.
Yeah.
I mean, on a cop block
With a dog?
with a dog that's gonna get jealous. That dog when
I'll
he
tell
starts
you,
fucking somebody else.
That dog's going to start barking right at insertion.
God, if that guy only knew if he just picked the two more, if he called you sexy twice outside, he could have come in. He could have come in and fucked you.
Hey, dipshit, you had her on the ropes. He goes, also...
She goes, nice dog. He goes, really? He goes, you're a nice dog.
She goes,
excuse me. He goes, you're
"What?
sexy. You want to come in?
Want some tea? Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. The only thing that would have made the robbery situation worse is if that guy would have tried to fuck me. I think that would have been the only, because I was, the whole time just like, don't die. But if he would have been like, I'm gonna get a sweet taste of that white ass,
Dude,
I'd be like,
would you have thought?
fuck,
Would you have thought better of him? Would you have at some tinge in the back of your heart felt a thing that this guy was awesome if, upon robbing you, didn't hurt you at all, but like put you over the back of like a couch and like pulled your pants down below your butt cheeks a little bit, slapped your ass a few times. He goes, here we go. And just like give you about a minute and a half of like
fear?
thinking he was going to fuck your ass. And he goes, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm not gay. And then he just laughed. He goes, and you're just like sitting there with your ass. He goes, and later on, would you be like, that was actually pretty funny that he maybe, he goes, for me, maybe think he was going to fuck me, and then he didn't fuck me, which made the whole thing much better.
Yeah, that would have been. But I'm telling you the honest answer on that. It was I kept thinking about our size difference because I was probably like a foot taller than him.
Oh, I think you meant your penis size. He goes, so I was thinking, I hope that I'm the top because I think the bottom's going to hurt.
I honestly think it would hurt him more for me to fuck him. So he would, and I'm a very giving guy.
I'm a generous lover, and I don't want people to give me
as long
bad.
as he reached around and pleasured me, I would be okay with it. No, but if he pulled my pants down, I would be like, I think I would do a thing where I'm like, well, I got to take this guy out. Like, I got to fucking flail.
I think I would rather be. I can't imagine being held at gunpoint, and I think I'd rather be raped than held at gunpoint.
Nope.
Really?
And I mean that just in that.
I mean, I don't know.
Not with the, and I don't mean
You
like,
always hate guns,
for anybody,
but sometimes you love dick.
Sometimes I love sex. I mean, it's something where, and I've never experienced both. And I obviously being
Let
raped.
Dan laugh at my joke, Christine. Give him a second.
It's very funny.
It's our funny show.
Yeah. It was a thing where it just happened, and then you're like, all right, it's over. I hope it's over. Please be over. And then,
How many times you look out the window?
Your life, like you.
How many times you look out the
me.
window? Like
Dude.
Like 3 dozen times.
I'm
right?
telling you right
It's
now,
like,
and I obviously I did the story on this not happening, but the real version was I fucking was gonna go smoke with a barbecue lighter when it happened, and the second I had plastic restraints on my wrist, so I wasn't properly hogtied. He just tied my legs and my arms together, but he used plastic restraints on my wrist and then duct tape on my feet. So when he left, and my door was still open to the apartment. And I heard my car drive off. I know what my car sounded like. So I heard him drive off in my car. And I was like, oh, he stole my car. And then I thought, like, all my laundry's in there. And then it, like, flashed back to where I was. And I was like, I got to get up and shut that fucking door. And I fucking, just behind me, broke the plastic restraints. And it fucked me up. It, like, cut me when I did it. But then I got up and like hopped over to the door and shut it and locked it, and then got the tape off my feet, and then immediately grabbed that cigarette and lit up with the barbecue lighter in the apartment. Like, I don't give a fuck. I just started smoking, and my hand was like shaking, and my friend was calling me. My friend Greg Rampage USA, shout out KFMA Day.
That's not a thing.
He called me to be like, hey, can you do voiceovers? I was supposed to come down and do like a silly voiceover for the weekend promo where I'm like, we're giving away $20,000. And I just picked up and I go, hey, Greg Rampage, I just got robbed and put a gunpoint. And he's like, okay, hang up and call the cops. But Amir was calling.
He's like, wait, no, I'll do it over the phone. Ninth caller, guess.
I go,
God.
it's a Coheed Cambria weekend. Oh, we thought we were giving away tickets to Coheed Cambria at the Rialto Theater. But it was a thing where it was like over and done with to the point where we were getting lunch like within 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like
How long were they actually in the apartment for?
I would say no longer than 10 minutes. So probably 5. They ransacked. They had like a big army duffel bag and they ransacked.
They knew what they were coming for.
Yeah, they knew we sold weed. They knew Amir sold weed. I didn't sell weed. But the guy knew it.
Good backpedal.
Yeah, I'm like, right?
He knew we were international. We were moving heavyweight international.
Well, I was just.
no, Amir was.
I was just the guy on the couch, which was great because I could get.
It's all made up. You're joking about all of it.
Anyway. Yeah, but there was like, it's just a joke. But what's crazy is they were shitty at robbing us because when the guy left and I looked around the apartment because I had to call the cops because they got my car. That was the only reason I called the cops. So I was like, I have to get my fucking car back. And I talked to Amir, and he was like, coming. He's like, all right, we got to clean the place out before you call the cops because there's like weed and shit. And there was a fucking pound of weed in Amir's bedroom under a towel. But they flipped the beds. So you guys were like, you guys sucked. You didn't even just like kick shit around.
Like lock, stock, and two smoking barrels.
It was
They're just like, well, you doing eating a banana? I can't find anything.
Dude, the guy was just so about it that it was like he looked like a bored guy at his office where he's just like, fuck you, where's the money, white boy? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, where's the fucking money? And you're like, I don't know. And then he just fucking took the keys. He's like, you fucking move, I'll kill you. And you're like, okay. It was just like
I said I don't know.
Yeah.
When you start to get big?
No, I just started breathing into the carpet and felt like it was really uncomfortable after a while. Because I was like, I'm just fucking breathing in dust. I was like, we never vacuum.
Why don't you take your restraints off? I'll show you what time it is.
Yeah, oh, fuck your shit up, bro. And then Amir charged me. He left like a week later, then charged me for the couches. He was like, yo, you wanted those couches. You owe me $600.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was like, fuck you.
What an asshole.
Yeah. He's the only friend of mine that, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but you have friends that as you grow up, you get to like adulthood, especially your 30s, and you're like, oh, yeah, you were never a good friend to me. I was just a good friend to you.
Yo, man, but you always would hang around?
Yeah, he's like, yo, honestly, I bet you were mad scared. Yo, I took off. That's what he said. When I picked up the phone, when he called me, he's like, yo, are you dead? That was his first question. I don't know if he was a comedic genius or mentally retarded.
Yo, you dead?
He's like, yo, you dead?
That's
I was like,
comedy.
No. He's like, yo, I'm at Troy's. Yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck you saying? What the fuck did me do?
And you were the only one home.
He was with me. He walked down the stairs first. And they came around the corner and fucking, I didn't know what happened to him. So when my friend Troy called me, I picked up to be like, fuck, this is going on. It was him. I was like, Troy. And he's like, yeah, are you dead? And I was like, this fucking...
How did he get away?
He didn't call the... He just thought that you didn't come down? Like,
no, he got away because there was two guys.
But he didn't immediately call the cops to come save you?
No, he called me because he knew how much weed and money he had in the house. He's a fucking drug dealer.
He's a horrible friend.
Yeah. Then he called me for the couches.
Oh,
yo,
man.
you dead? Did you get killed over my drug thing?
Yeah. By the way, he bought an Audi and a sports bike and would never give me a break.
You're
on
a
weed.
nice friend.
I'm a doormat,
you should
Jay.
have 0 to 60 these people in your life.
I know.
These people are supposed to 0. That person goes, Dan, I think you're really, really great on Billions. He goes, what? So now it's like to this guy, I'm only an actor. It's like he doesn't like my comedy. He doesn't like my comedy at all. You're like, I think he really enjoys you on the show, man.
Yeah. Fuck you. What? I'll just go fuck myself.
I guess my comedy sucks dick. Then he goes, I just wasn't talking. I like you. I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, Amir's like, yo, honestly, I just spilled a whole 32-ounce Gatorade on the... And, dude, I swear to God, one morning... I've told you guys this story on the Bonfire. One morning I got up, and it was when I was drinking, when I was in college. I was hungover. I had, like, Jimmy Dean sausage sandwiches that you could microwave. I microwaved 2 of them, hit a fucking bunch of ketchup on the plate, grabbed an Arizona green tea, and was like, I'm going to watch some college football, and I put the plate down, and I put my iced tea down, and I moved it, and it was like, and I was like, what the fuck? And the entire coffee table, I looked at it with the sun reflection, and you could see was just spilled. Oh. And I'm like, I go to Amir's room, and I knock on the door. I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened to the coffee table? He goes, oh, yeah, last night I spilled a Gatorade on the coffee table. And I was like, and you didn't clean it up? He's like, I was gonna today. I was like, you're a fucking piece of shit. He'd just do stuff like bad roommate stuff.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad roommate stuff.
I knew where he kept his weed, and I would take eighths and sell them to the guys at the radio station.
There you go.
So I wasn't a complete doormat.
Oh yeah, did you do? Like you said, he wouldn't give you a break, but I mean, you just stole from him, right?
Yeah, steal. Just resulted in me. Also, I had a great one on him. He bought a George Foreman grill the first year we lived together. Ooh. It was when George Foreman grills came out, and he bought and left a piece of salmon.
Yo, dude, this is fucking high technology shit.
He goes, yo, honestly, it's mad healthy.
You can make a.
He's like, yo, I swear to God, he was like, yo, not for nothing, you're gonna be mad healthy. Yo, Soder, you eat like shit.
Get chicken. You do anything in this.
So what he loved to talk. Yo, I was like cooking halibut. Yo, it's made good, right? And
did anybody
like the way
ever
chew?
It's about the George Foreman grill. Does anybody remember the?
That you could cook chicken from frozen.
No,
on
more than I wanted the George Foreman grill. I never understood the George Foreman grill, quite honestly. But what I did always want is that thing that makes you 4 half sandwiches.
Yes, a panini press.
I want a panini press so bad. Let's get one.
But it made pockets though. It wasn't paninis. It would make them like.
Oh, that's when they take the tortilla and fold it over. And
not a tortilla. You make like 2 grilled cheeses basically, but you make them like raw, right?
Yeah.
And then you put them in this thing and you close it, and it starts cooking them on both sides. But what it's also done is it clamps down like you're making Play-Doh cutouts. Oh. So it makes each one like a pocket, like a sealed pocket.
What is this invention? And why do we not know about it? Amir fucking loved his Foreman grill and left a piece of salmon on there and just didn't cook it. And so there was this raw salmon, and I walked in the house and I was like, it smells like salmon in here. And I was like,
that's your mom's pussy.
Yo, honestly, sorry, I had to go to Melissa's house and fuck a pussy. Yo, she gets mad. He's the guy that I told you. She gets mad.
Dude, I know Amir.
Yeah,
I don't know him at all, but I mean, I know him through you.
Bonfire context, he at one time he bought a sports bike with his weed money, and he took his girlfriend riding, and me and my buddy were playing PlayStation, and he just walked in and he goes, yo, Melissa's pussy gets mad wet when I go over 100. And you're like, oh, thanks, bud. But what
a shitty roommate. Your college roommate.
Yeah, it was my college roommate. But dude, the best was he left the salmon on there, so I took it. And then I went into his bedroom and I took the vent off of his air conditioner and I put the salmon in the vent and left it in there. And then it made the whole house smell like shit. It made the whole apartment.
It was not a good plan.
That was not a good plan. Immediately a day later, he's like, yo, our apartment smells like shit. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy. When are you going to class? And then he left and I was like, zip, zip, zip. And I took that shit out. Oh, it was fucking brutal. But that guy was a roommate where I didn't realize how shitty he was, but then I also didn't realize I was using him for weed.
Yeah.
I've never done it before.
I thought we were good friends for a little bit.
I've never done it before, but I could totally see like bad roommate situations getting me down to like the head of your toothbrush is going up my ass.
Yeah.
And look at that! I accidentally peed on your fucking shoes.
Yeah.
Like I could see me getting there for sure. It's like the small little fucking like fuck yous to somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I did. Yeah, no, I fucking on the girl who used to work at the comic strip. I used to blow fucking hot sticky loads all over her pillows and shit.
That's fucking hilariously disgusting in a way of like, did she inside or outside of the pillow?
Right outside.
And would it dry clear?
Yeah, it's like when she know him, like cut her.
Whatever it was, it didn't make like a thing.
Was it one of those things where you rub your hand and then it's a picture and then you rub it?
I think it was just kind of like no. I think it was just kind of like just like like off-white color things or whatever.
Dude, fucking people shit up. That's my favorite move that I've ever pulled on anybody angry is when I took that lady's universal remote and just threw it in her garbage as I was leaving. Because I was like, no one checks the garbage for the remote, and you're going to throw it out, and it's fucking gone. That was one where I was like, that's going to fucking stick with you. Let's take a break so we can change batteries. It's a legitimate Lost Tapes on the Bonfire.
It's Faction Talk, Sirius XM 103.
Yeah.
I'm Big J.S. Dan.
Hi.
And now, back to the bonfire with Big Jay Oakerson and Dan Soder.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying and chalk.
Hey, everybody, we're back. It's the Bonfire. Big Jay Oakerson, Dan Soder, Christine Evans. Of course, we're hanging out from the 500 goddamn comedy jam. Josh Adam Myers. I just watched the whole 2020. I'm an adult now, Dan.
Yeah, I know. You love 2020.
Put it on my new DVR today. Ooh. Another conversation we could have, too. Getting used to a new cable.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm not DirecTV anymore. Now it's we're in the Verizon Fios world.
You're living that Fios life.
It's a little scary. It's a little scary. But what was I saying before that?
You're talking about the 2020.
Yes. And it took place. This girl got definitely kidnapped and killed. She was pregnant by her sports star.
Oh yeah, when he was cheating on her with the girl he worked with. Is it that guy?
Maybe. I don't know. Did you watch it, Christine?
Are you talking about the one at the bar?
Was this what you were watching yesterday?
The young girl that worked at the tilted kilt style place.
Was that also Colorado?
I don't think it was Colorado.
No, this place was Pueblo, Colorado. What I'm talking about. It was a high school. Pueblo, Colorado.
Yeah, well, yeah, like Pueblo. You could say Pueblo. Yeah, Pueblo is how I said it growing up, but I'm dumb.
What am I saying?
You nailed it. I don't know. I'm bad at enunciation, dude. You're the one that I was going for words. I'm from Colorado, and I'm looking at you for this one.
Well, Pueblo.
Want to take it away?
Well, I just watched the 2020, and the Pueblo thing was.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did the news anchor toss in a little bit of Espanol. Like the Pueblo. Because it's like, if you're a white guy from Colorado, you're like, you're going up to Pueblo? Like, that's just how you say it there.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't a fucking
Pueblo.
Yeah, there's a lot of, well, if you're up there, you're pretty much in the mountains.
This was a high school or college, I guess, basketball star, and just he essentially he got his girl that she was cute too, but to him she was just totally a complete let me use your car. Okay, grab some money out of your ATM real quick, and she just did all of it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And when her whole time was just spent being like that, I don't know. I was like, I love him, but I don't know if. And he was just living like that. Oh yeah, can I use your car again?
Yeah, hey babe, I gotta use your car.
And then she came back pregnant and was like, I'm, keeping the baby. I want to have a baby.
That's I would probably say a third of the 2020 stories. It's always they were in a relationship. He was a bad guy. She got pregnant. He killed her.
Yeah.
But he was
dead. Every story.
But they got him dead. They got him dead to rights. But you know what sucks? So I always think about this. When people go, they can't find the body, right?
Yeah.
They never recovered this girl's body.
Ever.
Ever. Now, not knowing where a body is a lot worse than finding it somewhere where it's you could picture what it is. Do you know what I mean? If they never found the body, it's it may have been in the woods. You don't know. The woods, the swamp, the whatever, the gators got. This one they know pretty sure. They're just from the evidence they have that he brought her, when he killed her, he dumped her in a landfill.
Damn.
And it's like acres upon acres upon acres of land. It's a landfill.
Yeah.
And so they're just they're like you couldn't do a thing. He goes, you have just as much a chance as sticking your shovel in the ground and finding her with the first stab as you do of never finding her in a million lifetimes. You know what I mean?
Did they ever do the thing where they ask him to show us where the body is and we'll take time off?
I don't know. He still says he didn't do it, but he's convicted. He got life in jail.
So you think this is a Colorado? Dude, we call that a Colorado first marriage.
I thought
the Voyeur, Columbine.
Aurora Mall.
The Joker shooting.
The Joker thing happened
that was our mall.
It's a wild place of terrible things happening.
I think altitude makes your brain go all...
Might be something to that, dude.
Everybody's having altitude.
Also, I'll say drugs and alcohol particularly, they hit you harder out there.
Oh, yeah, dude. I have a whole joke about it right now about when I moved to sea level when I was 18.
Like the yellow sun.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was drinking like a 60-year-old non-vet, and none of these kids could keep up. I was dropping kids.
You've been training since you were 14.
I was on puke patrol with a lot of freshman year people being like, I'm going to throw up. I took down a half a liter of rum one night, and I was like, uh-oh, I've got my daddy's disease. And that was immediately the moment where I was like, I'm fucking, this is going to be a problem.
Kristen, you're going to think I'm picking on you, but I got to tell you, it's distracting that you're doing yoga while we're doing a show.
She's just doing...
Fucking nailed it.
Just doing some hip flexes.
I mean, she's like her feet bike riding across my view. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing?
And you guys have both been there, but I brought a girlfriend up there that had never been to Colorado, and she came to my family's Christmas party. This was like 6 years ago, and I'm like, hey, just real quick, watch... And I wasn't drinking, but I was like, hey, watch how much you drink. It could fucking get you. And she was like, I'm going to be fine. And she had a glass of wine at my family Christmas party. My whole family drinks, like a lot. My mom's family.
Blew your uncle.
Yeah, she ends up going with a cousin and an uncle. And we got ourselves a little John Denver. We call that's a male, female, that's an MMF threesome at a high altitude.
Sorry to use industry terms.
We call that a Rocky Mountain High. But she had one glass of wine, and I was like, great, we're going to go meet. She was going to come meet all of my hometown friends at a bar.
She's going to go puke on them.
My mom was like, I'm making a martini. Do you want a martini? And I looked at my mom like, what the fuck are you doing? And
she goes, I'm getting her lit up for you. She's going to be an easy kill.
She goes, you can probably do whatever you want, sweetie pie. It's Christmas. Take your gift. They had a martini, and I noticed she was drunk. She was sitting shotgun in Garapay's car and just started changing the station. And Garapay was like, "Hey, don't do that." Like, he had met her briefly before,
this
but
music
he was like,
sucks. Put on what I like.
She just like turned it. She's like, "What station is this?" And he's just driving. And he goes, "Yeah, please don't do that." And I was in the back, and I was like, "No." And then she went to the bar, and it was a martini and a glass of wine. And she got to the bar and had a beer, and maybe had half her beer, and she was fucking wasted. And she wasn't like a light drinker.
Was she embarrassing you?
To the point where I was like, we should probably get out of here. And the next morning she woke up and she's like, I'm very hungover and I feel real stupid. Because you got to drink a shit ton of water.
Non-stop water in Colorado if you're not used to it.
Dude, that was another pretty funny thing. There was another guy calling out this weekend during the shows. Shows were great, by the way, in Cincinnati. But like there was just like drunk people.
Well, people are going to start getting fucked
Yeah, they're amped up to be out. Yeah, but this guy was a big fan. He literally stopped the show to go. He kept trying to get my attention over here, but he was like in the middle of like jokes too. I was doing like bits, and he'd be like, Jay, and then I was talking to a girl, and he goes, Miss, can you ask him about Corey Feldman? It's like a thing, just like that bland of a thing to say. I go, what, dude? He's like, Corey. I go, what about him? And he goes, Corey Feldman. You're like, dude. No. I go, I appreciate that you're a fan of the stuff. I go, it's a weird thing to yell out.
Oh no, and it's also
to start
weird.
Doing. Some people here have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like it's just an odd. He's like, come on. And then at one point, I looked over at him and like. He had a huge glass of ice water in front of him, like a crazy big glass of ice water. And he kept calling the waitress over to order stuff. And he'd go, he's definitely asking for alcohol again. Yeah. And they would just bring him another glass of water instead. And he would just drink it. And then Rez goes, wait, I want
that level of drunk is a specific level of drunk at a comedy show when they're like, no, I'm going to throw out the premise. They think it's whose line is it anyways? Yeah. But they're like, dude. Are you doing suggestions? Because American Comedy Company, I went out for a late show, and there was just a guy sitting by himself drinking a pitcher of beer out of the pitcher. And I started the show, and he just goes, Macho Man. And I go, what's up? And he goes, do Macho Man. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. And he's like, it's all right. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, Fell dog. And you're like, dude, you just listen to the show. It's crazy. But I don't know. I mean,
they feel so connected to you from hearing you talk about those things that they're just like, no, they'll do it. Like if I just ask for it.
Yeah, but I think that's a level of drunk. That's
it's a total level of drunk.
I'm saying that's like add that on drunk.
Yeah,
but what I'm also blown away by is like I would never get drunk to the like if I was doing something like going to a comedy club, and it was like, oh yeah, let's have like I'll have like 2 shots, loosen up maybe. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. You make my 3 shots and get there. Because there's nothing about that. I'd still be like, why is this person yelling out? There's another person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to go in the thing when you know your person who goes, ha. Like, to be that drunk, you're definitely not going to remember or enjoy any of this.
Yeah, my
like,
favorite.
You think you're liking it, and they're even like laughing, but you're like, you're just not here.
When I first started doing comedy, the first time when I was in Tucson, the first time my friends from Denver were in Tucson, and I was like doing shows, and I was like, "You guys ready to see me do some stand up?" And I think I was like co-featuring. I was very early on, and I just got bumped up, and I was like, my friends were there, so I was like pumped. I was like, I'm like a regular in this comedy club. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Fujak showed up so hammered that
it sucks when it's a friend.
And I'm like, these are my best friends from high school, and I'm like, you guys, I'm living my dream. Yeah. And I show up and I do my set, and I'm like, that was a pretty good set. I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty pumped to talk to the guys, see what they thought. And my friend Alicia, who was the manager, just comes up and she goes, one of your friends is sleeping at the table. You're going to have to go get him, or we're going to have to remove him. And it was one of those things where I had to walk in the showroom and be like, get up. And he's like, his head was on the table. He's like, what? And I was like, dude, you're sleeping at the table. He goes, you're done. What does it matter? And you're like, this guy's the fucking headliner. Stop. Dude. That's embarrassing. When you're the feature and you're like, oh, fuck, man. And the headliner, you're like, I don't want to be an asshole.
Oh, especially.
Do you remember Dave and Lewis fell asleep during Slayer?
Slipknot.
Really?
How do you fall asleep during
day drinking?
Slipknot.
If you say day drinking, though, it should make sense to everybody. They were obliterated.
Were they
it
on
was
the
hot
lawn?
sun.
Were they on the
we were
lawn?
in seats.
But did they sit down? Because when the sun
they
goes
sat down.
down.
They sat down in the amphitheater, and they were just like, at one point, I was like, oh shit, here they come. They were like,
yeah, dude, I get that, man, because I told you that story about walking into Vic's room with the AC on and falling asleep. Because when you go from hot to real cold and dark, when I lived in Alaska, everyone was like, "Oh, wait till you go back." Like the guys I worked with, they're like, "Just wait till you go back to the lower 48." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Nightfall. You're not used to it because it keeps like a dusk feeling during the summer in Alaska." And I threw this fucking. I went to my friend's house. His mom was gone. We were like 19, so we had people over. Bought beers. I was like, I'm fucking back. I worked a man's job and I have money. Let's buy alcohol. Smoking cigarettes. I was drinking Rolling Rocks in this chair in the backyard, and the fucking sun went down. And then I woke up 3 hours later, and I was like, what had happened? And they're like, did you pass out? You're just like talking, and it got dark, and you fell asleep like an animal. Like, I was like, and by the way, I wasn't like blackout drunk or anything. I was like buzzed, but I was sitting on this like kind of chaise lounge chair, like laid back, and I was smoking a cigarette. And I think I put my final cigarette out, and I was like, yeah, it's crazy. And it was like cold. I was like, woke up, I was like.
And your friends just kept hanging out for the 3
hours. It was like a party. But it was like maybe a party of like 16 of us. So
Dave and Lewis, we were drinking in like the whole afternoon and shit.
Yeah. Day drinking going into night is.
And like, and we were able to get like booze and stuff because I was on the show. I was on the tour.
Did they get.
That was the set. I was bummed. I was getting. Dude, I said this to somebody the other day, but I was getting ready to go on was it on Bonfire? Did I tell the story about telling the Michael Vick joke in Philly?
Fallon? Oh, no.
In Philly on that I was like, man, that joke, that's got me this weird shit. When I do this Michael Vick joke in Philly on Mayhem Fest tour, it's like metalheads.
Yeah.
I go, I'm going to go out there and do this Michael Vick joke. Like, they're all football fans, these people. You know what I mean? And they are. They weren't football fans, I don't think. It's Philly still. But, dude, I was like, the joke had me saying, like, man, Michael Vick, it's terrible what he did, but now that he's on my team, I don't care. If he scores a touchdown, I'll throw him a dog and let him tear it apart like a werewolf in the end zone. And, dude, somebody stood up on a seat in the amphitheater and went, no, 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 no. And I was just hearing that. Like, it's like one person in thousands, but you're still like, I heard it the whole time, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go.
Yeah, I don't even like you guys.
And then everyone was leaving, and I was staying on the tour. I was like, I left from there. It was like we went down and I started in Philly.
Oh man,
right?
Mm-hmm. Man, hearing someone just go no, and you're like, stop being mean, stop yelling at me.
Was that Oddball?
Wait, if that was your first show, where you're like, oh fuck, this tour is going to be
bad. Dude.
Yeah,
and I was a little cocky because I had like already done it with Korn in them, and this was Slipknot Slayer.
So you're like, here we go.
What?
Are you thinking about that tour? Did that happen on that tour? It wasn't on Oddball that happened, right?
I think so. Yeah, we went down with Janice and like everybody, like Lewis's sister drove us down, and we went there and we just drank all day. We got to park. We got to park in like a good parking lot because I left on the tour that night.
One of the day drinking, coming down from day drinking can be a hard fall if you.
I was brunch and then nap. There was no like day drinking and powering
I'd go
through.
I tried to power through a couple times. Almost tore something. You just try to keep going.
The midday nap is nice on it if you get a little whacked out like early.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, man, me and Dave, we slept like baby when we just kept pounding beers in Canada. And I told you those laughs you remember in life.
Yeah.
I told you a story before, right?
Yeah.
We just got a 30-pack of Molson.
Yes.
And it happened to be that the Jets game was on first in Edmonton, Canada.
Yeah.
And then after, followed by the Eagles game.
Great.
And it was like on their channels up there.
Did you have a show that night?
Yes.
Oh, man. That is something I've got very little experience with, was being on the road and having shows and day drinking. That is, that's a fucking
and what we were doing with
tightrope.
was so funny. We were pounding through them on purpose.
Yeah.
That was like, let's just drink them. Let's just go for it. And, dude, by the time we got to, what we started doing to make each other laugh, you would just, when you had an empty beer, when it was empty, the way you'd go, you just ask a dumb question. You know what I mean? You go, hey, dude, he goes, he goes, who's the starting quarterback for the Jets again? You know, and he'd be like,
Brett Favre?
Brett Favre. It's Brett Favre. I go, Brett Favre. Like, we throw the fucking beer can. I'm like, Brett Favre.
Oh,
and it was piling, the condo.
Yeah,
drunken piling up in that
day
condo.
bits, though.
Dude, it was making us laugh so hard. And by the end, what was really, but you'll appreciate this, Josh. You'll get this. The funny thing was, by the 15th time we had to do it, because we're both on beer like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
You start going like this, you'd be like, hey, Dave. And like, you couldn't even phone it in anymore. You couldn't even play act that it was like going to be a real question or something. And you just go, hey, Dave. And he would start laughing, and you start laughing, and you go, what do you think the final score is going to be? And whatever he says, just throw the thing. Obliterated. Passed out like lovers. I mean, just on a couch, almost head to head.
Yeah.
And then woke up an hour before the show time.
Oh my god!
And just immediately opening your eyes, it was like someone just shined a flashlight in your eye. I was so.
I do not.
Like I had such a headache, and we just went and performed with these headaches.
Dude, I would have
and
to
we'd
get
also
drunk again.
promised somebody. We almost promised somebody too that we'd go do like their afterwards show, and we went and did that, and we just felt we were just miserable.
Dude, when I used to DJ like weddings, like that was like the height of me doing cocaine, and I'd stay up all night drinking and doing coke
at the wedding.
Sleep? No, it's just like
the night before
on my night off.
Oh,
and then, or like on a Friday over to Saturday, I'd DJ some shows, then I'd just party all night, and then the next day on Saturday, I'd always have to DJ like a morning wedding
with a DJ's assistant, right? You and DJ Lou?
No, I didn't need an assistant. I was the like the king, dude.
We found out DJ Lou was a wedding
he
DJ
really?
assistant.
Oh no, I was
assistant.
Bonfire context. DJ Lou is one of our producers and possibly the fastest hand in the West. He's the quickest with drops, and we found out
producer.
He was not only the wedding DJ's assistant, that he had never DJ'd a wedding, and we thought he was out there fucking raking in money doing bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings.
It's time for the horror.
You want to go back to the archives and listen to a fun little segment? Was DJ Lou was going to DJ my sister's wedding. Panicked because at some point he thought that I wanted him. He was actually going to show up. Thank God he talked to me. He thought I wanted him to DJ my sister's wedding like a bonfire, like do drops. Like on the wedding, I was like, no, dude, like, you make me want to shout and like, cha-cha slide and all that shit. And he's like, oh, good then. Remember Tony Shalhoub in Quick Change?
Yeah.
When he keeps going, he goes, the airport, JFK. He goes, oh, sorry, I got it. And then he'd be like, what the heart? Just keep asking where to again.
But
and it was the same thing, like.
Oh, with DJ Lou, not knowing.
Yeah, DJ Lou comes. He goes, oh, okay, so like. You just want me to regular DJ? It takes a lot of. Takes a lot of pressure off. I thought you wanted me to do it. I'm like,
I thought you wanted me to personalize it.
I'm like, Lou, why the fuck would I want you to do Bonfire job? Like, no one's going to know what the hell's happening.
Whoa!
Cha-cha, real smooth.
That's what I'm going to make love to.
Turn it out.
Oh, don't you love
To
it?
the left.
Oh, yeah.
Take it back now, y'all.
Go birds.
One hop this time. Right foot, let's start. Left foot, let's start.
DJ.
He goes, okay, perfect. Then he came in again. He just told me, he goes, listen, I called your sister and I canceled myself.
Why, he was so nervous?
He was so nervous. I go, why are you nervous? He goes, well, listen, here's the thing. I don't like really DJ. I like assist the guy. So he's just like, you know what I mean? He's
Turns
like,
out he was bullshitting us.
yeah, he's bullshitting us. We call him DJ Lou for nothing. He's the guy he goes, hey, stupid, give me Ring My Bell by Donna Summer. And he's like, oh, God.
He's taking requests. Yeah, he's the guy that takes the requests.
When you would DJ on a morning, Saturday morning wedding, and you're out Friday night doing blow, how much, is there any sleep between your partying and the gig?
2
Get a
hours.
catnap when you get your dick
2
sucked by a
hours,
fat bridesmaid.
3 at the most. But it was the way that I fell asleep was I would, if I had a little bit of coke, I'd do that. I wouldn't save any for the next day, knowing I had a morning. But I would
you
just
really want to get
chug.
those sweats when someone's living out their romantic fantasies.
I would chug a pint glass of like either whiskey or rum with like a dash of whatever the mixer would be. So it'd be
Pineapple
like
juice.
Jack and Coke, something like that. I'd chug that, and then I'd go on MySpace and leave comments on people's walls in all capital letters, and then I'd pass out suddenly, wake up, and be like, oh shit, go to 7-Eleven, get a Red Bull in my shitty tux.
So, but I'm asking you the actual semantics of it. So you're doing this MySpace commenting.
Yeah.
You fall asleep. You're sleeping for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then you're waking up. What's the getting ready process? You got to put on a cummerbund.
Jump in the shower, dude. It
Do you
just
have to wear a
hurt.
tuxedo?
Pardon?
Do you have to wear a tuxedo?
I had to wear a tuxedo, dude.
That bites nuts,
Ass, dude.
No one's looked cool DJing in a tuxedo, except maybe like a black guy in the 80s that was also wearing shades. Yeah. Like, shades and like Converse or something.
Mine, I could wear suits sometimes, but if it was like a big wedding, you had to wear a tux.
Did you
should have showed up like Juice, dude. Like fucking big old hood over yourself.
It was the setup was an amp, 2 CD players, and a mixer. And then these 2 Yamaha speakers on these little like poles.
Did you
You
set
should have been,
that?
Dude,
you should have been a helmet DJ. You should have been a helmet DJ, dude. That'd have been great.
Dude,
Josh
there
with
was
big
a
helmet.
there was a wedding in McLean, Virginia, and it was this mansion. And like I show up to the place, and it's the British woman that's getting married. She's like 40, 45, and she's like, "Listen, we're gonna have all these people there, but you're a part of the party. So I want you to drink, I want you to eat, do everything." And
I think
was
they
like,
say that to a lot of DJs.
They
don't
say, dude, but then I looked over at their bar. They had Tanqueray 10, which was like my shit at the time. So I just started pounding those.
Uh-oh.
I black out. The next thing I know, I wake up. It's the end of the night, and I'm out on her driveway with her. And she's like, "No, you can just stay here." She's like, "Don't worry. It's like, just stay here, and it'll be fine." I remember dropping a speaker against the wall. And then she's like, "So just stay here tonight. We got a room." And then I'm like, "Yeah, I'll totally stay here." And she goes in, and then I finished my cigarette. I was like, pictured myself like waking up the next morning in their house, like having to come downstairs. They're having like a brunch. I see everybody.
Look, everyone, Joshua's awake.
And I'm just like,
"Hey, what's up, everyone?" Also, real quick,
one more song.
I think I threw up some shrimp cocktail on your guest bed.
Do you want me to blow your mind right now, Josh?
What
would you say if I told you I'd be willing to bet $3,000 that the place you went to was called McLean, Virginia?
Probably.
And not McLean?
I've always called it McLean, and that's close to where I live. Is it McLean? I think it's McLean.
John McLean?
Yeah, but anytime
McLean.
it's spelled McLean, it's usually McLean.
I can't weigh in on this because I am dumb. Did you sleep over there?
The only time that works out for you good, though, by the way, in New York, where it gets you is Houston. Because it's Houston for some reason. You know it's spelled Houston.
Yeah.
It's Houston.
These idiots.
That's dumb.
These idiots know how to make a waterhead feel at home.
Hey, we all came together on that one, though, right?
Boom.
Right? We all did big on that one.
So when
Fuck
you're-
Houston.
So here's what happened. So she's like, "Just stay here," and I'm like, "I'll be right in. I'm just gonna finish my cigarette." And then I just thought about how awkward it's gonna be.
Yeah, wait.
So I jumped in my Jeep and I like drove through a bush and like balled out. And so I go home, and then I remembered the next day because I couldn't find my CD book. So I had to go back to the house the next day.
Hold on real quick. Are we getting a weird wind in it?
What's that whistle?
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that, Josh. Go
What
back
is that?
a sentence or two.
So was I?
Because
So-
it was going.
Yeah, it was just like,
Sounded like we were on a haunted pirate ship. Like at one point, I was going to go, "Gee, Scoobs."
Christine's going to see Zool in the fridge.
Oh God, you guys were born. Oh, that's
Zool.
why. You guys are so high up. You're getting fucking smacked with rain now.
Storming, yeah. Hold on, I'm shutting the windows because it's actually hitting our shit.
Oh, back
Well, you
down
wanted to live in the
hatches.
sky.
Yeah.
So I'm in the driveway smoking the cigarette.
Jump in your Jeep.
So I jump in the Jeep, I drive over a bush, and I go back to the company's house. Steve and Mike, who lived
Shout
in their
out
parents'
Steve and Mike.
basement.
Ultrasound.
These two, one was probably like 55, the other one was like 45. They're Greek dudes. They didn't believe in evolution.
Cool.
One of them wrote a book going against evolution.
Well, if there is science that backs that up.
But and there were so many times I would show up there to drop off equipment just hammered, and they just did not care unless something like this happened, where the next day the woman called and was like, she was like, Josh did a great job DJing, but he did get really, really drunk, and then he put a hole in our garage with the speaker, and he then drove through a bush on his way out. And Steve, I guess, handles it, does some PR, whatever he's supposed to do. And then she goes, he also left his CD book there, so if he wants to come and pick it up. So I had to go back.
Did you go the next day still in a tuxedo? You go missing
Shakes the clown.
Yeah.
I mean, partial. I had
gotta
the
show up
tie
and
open and the cummerbund on. Just
Yeah.
like,
You're Jerry Lewis at hour 70.
Yeah. You show up and you go, "You wouldn't believe the adventure I went on last night."
You would shit.
Let's just say the Brea tar pits are stickier than you think. Lost a lady of the night in there. But it's going back. Did you have to go ring the doorbell?
oh yeah, man. Right up to the front
Hello,
door,
Josh.
to the scene of the
I think
crime.
you're looking for your Uncle Cracker collection.
Thank you. Let me just check if everything's here. All right, we're good.
It's a 250, so you know it's a lot of jams.
Jams.
Did you double up CDs in each sleeve?
Oh yeah, dude. And they were all labeled. They had it was like wedding mix. Like I had dinner mix. Like
Did you ever have a CD scratch and start fucking
oh
up?
my god, yeah. You always had to have a song ready. Dude, the worst was when I DJed at the strip club and so my Spotify, the internet music would go off. If it just like the internet went out and then Spotify would shut off, it was just the whole. There's like 200 drug
So far,
dealers
there's
and
zero
pimps.
skill to DJing.
Yeah, you just hit play.
It really is.
At a strip club, no, it doesn't take any real skill. There are people that do mix and shit like that. But
It's not true that there's you have to know music
No,
to do it.
not.
Thank you, Christine.
Not at a strip club.
No, you do. You still have to have some sort of bank of music that would be good for the vibe in order to do it. You're just so musically inclined that you think it's no big deal. But you being able to seamlessly DJ is because you're like a musical encyclopedia.
Britannica.
Continue.
of Yacht Rock.
I'll allow it. We're going to be right back. It's the Bonfire.
And now, back to the Bonfire with Big Jay Oakerson and Dan Soder.
You don't know how you met me, you don't know why you can't turn around and say goodbye. All you know is when I'm with you, I make you free and swim through your veins like a fish in the sea. I'm singing, follow me, everything.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lost Tapes. It's the Bonfire. What is it? Faction Talk.
Come on, you got it.
Sirius XM 103. I panicked. I panicked through that one.
You got it, though.
We're hanging out with Josh Adam Myers from the 500 podcast. What were we talking about?
Yeah, man, those drunk going to work things.
I've never done that.
But I'm talking about hungover. Did you ever get fucking hammered and have to go into a shitty job hungover?
No.
Really?
I had a couple times on Jokers.
I never
4
drank.
Call times that were rough.
Oh my god!
I was I was so still I was doing some stuff, but I wasn't working in comedy a lot. I mean, when I was drinking, but I had shitty jobs that I would show up to hungover all the time. especially when I was,
Dos Caminos.
Yeah, I mean that was like that's over 100. Yeah, working in the restaurant industry, you're gonna show up hungover.
It's because you drink with it. If you work at a good restaurant, just like you were talking about the comedy club, you hang out with everybody that works there.
Yeah.
So if you work a Friday night shift and you get out at 11,
Dude, my favorite was there was this bar called CB6 on 51st and 2nd. That's now called Stag's Head or whatever. But we were cool with the staff there. So what they would do is they would have like this fucking like bus tub of beers that were like $3, and they're like, yeah, there's like weird ones that we have. But sometimes it'd be like a Red Stripe would be in there or some shit. But they would save it for us because they knew the night shift of Dos Caminos was going to come drink. And then you'd be like, what do you guys got in the discount bin? And they'd be like, we got a fucking shark ale. And you'd be like, oh, I'll fucking take that. And then you're like, let me get a shot too. And they would, but then it got to the point where we were so cool with them. Fucking 2 a.m. would hit. They'd lock the door. We could smoke inside, put our own iPod on the fucking speaker system, pour your own beers. Oh, it was the shit. Yeah. Drinking as a restaurant staff.
Oh, it's the best.
I'm so happy I was staff and experienced like boozing in that way, because it really is like going through the back doors, knowing all the bouncers, knowing all the bartenders, like it makes you feel like VIP when you're broke. Like you never have to wait in line, and it's just a way to kind of like dance around the city and have fun with like no money. We have no money.
But that's something as a comic that you get to enjoy is when you show up in a city and you find a staff that hangs out like that. And they're like, we want to hang out with you. And you're like, what do you guys got? But the problem with comedy is if you drink hard every weekend, they're like, we're going to show you a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad I didn't hang out this last weekend. They asked us to hang every night to go to that place.
You had a little bit.
I'm so boring now.
Me and Josh just got food, went back.
That's exactly what all I want to do. I'm boring. I'm like, if there's a late night burger place or like a good restaurant, then you're like, you guys, a couple of you want to get food?
Well, the right thing, if it was like really nice outside and everyone was hanging outside and stuff like that, but also still it's like COVID and there's like fans and stuff that might be there and everything. But that staff there is great. It's a big thing. Bobby Kelly said, I talked to him this weekend, and he said to me that me, you, and him, and some other comics should do a show. I'm like, I don't know. I'd love to do this if I just didn't think like the repercussions would be like so bad. But he goes, we should just go, because he was talking about a club he did.
Yeah.
And just being like, and I was like, oh yeah, that place, it blows. And I'm like, and it starts right with the staff. Like, if the staff doesn't give a shit about comedy to comedy club, dude, it's over. It's a wrap.
It's actually like the big thing at the stand right now that we're constant is like, I'm like, people need to care a little bit. Like they have to care about the comedy. They have to make sure, like, I don't know if they know, like, you're not supposed to give personal opinions at the comedy club. Like everybody's great, you know? It's
yeah,
like,
but but that being said, I liked the environment that the Cellar had for a long time because there was like those staff members were there forever. And so when like, I remember, this is obviously 10 years ago, but I remember getting past the Cellar and then like when someone told me like if the staff watches you, you're good. Like you're going to be good because they're the ones that have to hear you every night. And that was kind of rewarding knowing these people had been around forever. And they're like still like, oh, you're funny. You're like, I remember I would do this joke about like I was just airing grievances about waiting on European people in New York, and I would tell them to tip. And I just remember like a couple of the servers when I got past being like, hey, that bit kind of worked. They tip better. And you're like, oh, cool. And then if I get them tip better, of course they're going to enjoy me more. And then it was also when I was still drinking. So you could like close out the club and drink there. It was just fucking great.
I had my time. It's so funny because the chef from the Comedy Magic Club when I was there, he was hanging out all the time, and he always had a camera on him. Yeah. And he just did a photo dump. So 2005 to 2008, there's now a photo dump on Facebook of all these pictures from my Comedy Magic Club days. And looking back on it as an adult, like, I'm like, it was the most fun. Like, we were so close, and it was so fresh-faced about comedy, and we all... No, but fun? Not the most fun ever. Obviously, this is like a dream, but to be nothing.
No, it's all right. This is just, you're just doing it for the check.
I'm talking 20 years old, no idea what you want to do or who you want to be with your life.
I know, but I just feel like we're all involved people, and just kind of right.
Tell the story.
I didn't know it was going to start this. No, I didn't know that food running at the Comedy Magic Club was going to be what ultimately got me here.
Damn, you were a runner, so you must have calloused hands from all the burns.
Dude, I was in the kitchen. I do have calloused hands, man. I was.
Christine learned to fuck comics out there.
Whoa!
Then she found her.
Yeah. Then she worked her way up, boss level.
I didn't fuck anybody that worked the club.
I got my buddy a job. I used to bust tables at the Aurora Steakhouse, and I got my buddy a job there. Me and Fujak got our friend Joel a job there as a food runner, and he was like, hell yeah. And then his first day of training, our manager comes up and goes, your friend Joel had to go to the hospital. And we're like, what? And he's like, he grabbed a hot plate and he had second-degree burns on his hands. And we just saw Joel, he just reached in and grabbed a steak plate, and I was like, we saw him later, his hands were all...
Just try the fucking palm of steak.
Dude, yeah. We were fucking... Dude,
anytime it's medium, just touch this.
Dude, he grabbed the plate and burned his hand, and the next time we saw him, his hand was all fucking cotton swabbed up above his heart, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's like, dude, I fucking know. But yeah, man, working in the kitchen, it's so fun because you're treated like shit for your whole shift, and then you want to go somewhere else and talk to people that were also treated like shit their whole shift about it. So that's why that's why everyone fucks. That's why everyone like fucking gets oddly bonded because you're just like, this guy was like,
It's your fucking family.
I asked for, he said he didn't want beans with his cochinita pibil, and I was like, I messaged the kitchen. I don't know if they fucking sent it out, and they're like, yeah, same fucking guy. I brought him chips, and he fucking spilled his drink, and I had to comp him a new one. Can we get 2 more shots? It's just, that's all it is.
Because nobody else cares beyond the people that are working in the restaurant with you. So it's like you can't go home and bitch about it in the same way you can with the other people there.
But it's also a specific bubble, because the farther along I was getting in comedy, as I was also waiting tables, I was noticing that like comics, the way we talk to each other is the same as waiters, the way they talk to each other.
Oh yeah.
Comics, it's all the same conversation where they're like, hey, where you been on the road recently? How are shows? Oh, good crowds there? Is the same way that waiters talk to each other and they go, did you work a double yesterday? What'd you walk with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Did you do cyber? It's just the same fucking 6 questions in every job.
Josh is gonna. I try to take the reins if we would go to eat on the road now. I worry about Josh's selling. He sends bad. First of all, he asked.
Bad intel or what?
When one of the staff, one of the servers from the club said to us the one night, she goes, you come into the
dude,
come into the bar with us? And Josh goes, are there any hot chicks there?
Oh, come on.
I wasn't thinking.
Yeah. He goes, well, I don't know. Is it
we
going
were
to be
like friends all
Is it
weekend,
going to be the
man.
pig farm like it is here?
It's not going to be you bunch of tubs of shit like this, is it? He goes, and then when we went to Cheesecake Factory over and over again, we went there. What?
Cheesecake Factory?
It was like the place.
That was the only place to eat.
And we got the same thing every day.
Except we got tacos one night, and they were
This is my favorite place.
They were
Cheesecake
ridiculous.
Factory, fucking dude. That's fucking hilarious. Because Katie and I just had a conversation with it at our grocery store. She found out you can buy the bread, the brown bread.
Brown bread?
Yeah.
Do you know?
And
do
I
you
was
know
like,
what
I don't know what this is, and she was like, this is Cheesecake Factory's bread. I'm like, cool.
Do you know they have fucking cheddar biscuit mix now
That's,
from Red Lobster?
That's fucking awesome.
In the store.
That's fucking awesome. But
Cheesecake Factory, by the way, just so you know, and the reason we got the same thing every
Bomb
day.
as fuck.
The reason we got the same thing every day is because pretty much everything there starts at about 1,200 calories.
dude,
Everything.
it is insane. It's you could honestly.
I mean, the cauliflower.
The
Cauliflower is 1,200 calories.
You could eat-
cauliflower. So me and Josh got we got the half sandwich salad soup thing. And then
love it. I love a half sandwich soup deal. Whenever
bread, we got it all 3 days.
Bread bowls? Were bread bowls a thing?
No, but the bread on this sandwich was unreal. It was I've never seen a piece of bread perfectly toasted.
It was toasted
the way
butter,
that
butter
this
toasted
bread was toasted
with their chicken salad. But whatchamacallit? But listen, this is so good. Josh is just. I'm telling you, it's. Justin Silver and Josh both.
I was just going to ask you that.
My Jewish friends that are in their 40s.
Yeah.
Myself, when they get to places, it's just I hear that thing in them, and I'm like, "You're one of the people late that night. They're going to be drinking." But he just goes, "What the one you got me?"
All I ever asked for was light dressing.
Can I? But tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is there a problem here? He goes,
bad?
And he goes, and with the thing, well, just I'm going to give you verbatim.
I want to hear the order.
I'm going to give him verbatim what he said.
Yeah.
And then you tell me where the problem
maybe
is.
the way I said it.
He goes, and he goes, I'll do the half sandwich with the chicken salad. What's the soup? Yes, I'll do the soup. I'll do the soup. And then, Christine, what?
She's getting all juicy.
Yeah, what do you want? Say it.
Did you get the chicken salad sandwich? Is that the bread you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's my fucking favorite thing from Cheesecake Factory. I haven't had it in years. I can't believe you ordered it. It's like the best thing on the menu.
It's all I had.
It's the
3
lunch
days in a
special.
row.
It's amazing.
It's the lunch special.
You
can't believe
you went to
I
McDonald's
found it
and got a Big Mac?
He goes, that's actually on the menu. If you have to know, you have to look under the table. It's etched into the bottom of every table. It's in the menu. It's the lunch special.
They actually give you a decoder
It's
ring.
the lunch special. It's the only thing.
Not 20 years ago when I was going in Vegas.
Oh, well, who knew you were such a pioneer? With
Yeah,
their
but that's a
fucking
Vegas
toasty
cheesecake
bread.
It's probably
factory.
a fucking special because I ordered it.
All
so
right,
much.
trendsetter. You don't see me sitting around wanting my dick sucked for ordering a fucking Monte Cristo at Bennigan's.
Hey, you think there's still Big Macs because I've eaten so many Big Macs? You think I've kept Big Mac alive myself?
Yeah. You like filet of fish.
Shut the fuck up.
That's all I order there.
With tartar sauce. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, dude.
All right. So Josh orders. Give me the Josh order.
He goes, all right, I'll do the Renee special. That's what it's called. He goes, what's the soup? Yeah, do a cup of that. And
give me a kiss of
I'll do
that.
the chicken salad for the thing. He goes, and the salad, I'll do the Caesar, the small Caesar. And can you put can you get light dressing on that? Yes, sure. It was a lot of dressing yesterday.
Oh no,
dude!
Oh no! Fuck you for blaming the salad problems on a previous administration. That is a different
Buddy,
shit.
let me tell you why I did that.
Dressing on the side.
Let me tell you why I did that.
Caesar, you can't do dressing on the side for a
it
Caesar.
was yes, you can. It was a different. It was a different shift, and also Josh wanted to do this. Now I'm part of this. I'm part of this also in this one. But we walked in the one night to try to get like late night food.
Mm-hmm.
So
it
like
was
11
closed.
o'clock.
It was closed. It was closed at 11. And we walked in, and the guy just did like, for sure, we were like, hey, you guys open? And he goes, closed, guys. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, did not even take out or anything. He goes, closed. And he's walking towards us with almost like let's go.
Pushing us out.
And Josh is like, he didn't touch us or anything. It was just like walking us out. Yeah. And then Josh goes, could we even like get a slice of, buy a slice, the pre-slice of cheesecake? He goes, closed, man. Closed. And they kind of, and I, like a dildo, I goes, all right, thank you, sir. I'm like, why the fuck did I just say thank you, sir?
Bitched out.
Yeah, it wasn't even bitching out. I was like always prepared to be, because if it makes sense, I'm fine going in there and having them say we're closed, we can't give you anything. And I'll say, if you come to me, he goes, sorry, man, I really can't. I go, all right, no worries, man. Thanks for being cool and leaving. So I'm always prepared to be like, whatever. Maybe it's bitchy, I guess, but like, I mean, like pussy bitchy. No, but. Dude, and the guy shows up, Josh, me both. When we got outside, I go, I don't like the way that went.
Yeah.
And Josh's like, what? I go, it was just after, it was one of the after walk away things. I was like, I don't know what I would have done differently, ultimately, not thanked him for sure, but I was definitely like, it wasn't that big of a deal. He didn't do anything that big of a deal more than just like, I was like, I don't know why I was like, thank you, dude. I could have been like, hey man, you could be like a little night. Like, we're
His
leaving.
energy
We
was-
didn't argue to go back in.
He pushed us out with his like. It was like every time he
His
said
energy,
it
for
got
sure.
louder. And
but it was
louder and
not that
snappier.
big of a deal. It just was a thing. But either way, Josh had to stop himself. Even when I said, dude, don't do that for real. At one point, he was like, I almost wanted to say it. He wanted to tell the people the next day.
I just wanted to find out what the deal with the manager was. I wasn't going to
I'm
complain.
like, yes,
I wanted to get a little bit of intel from like the server and just be. I didn't.
That guy a dick.
Is that guy a dick? Like we were just because we've been in here every day spending money. I'm not saying like
I will just tell you
anything.
I'll just tell you from a server's standpoint, from a waiter's standpoint.
You don't want to hear about the manager from last night being a dick.
A, no. B,
they're closed.
Shutting someone down at closing is.
Yeah, it does feel good. It does feel good.
That's
You're
been
right.
what you've been waiting.
Manager.
What you've been waiting for. Watching them swat people away. You're
That guy
like,
came a
fuck
little.
you. Yeah, dude. It's like, and then when they're like, can we get, how about something? You're like, nah, get out of here. I used to love bouncing Euros that didn't want to listen. I told you about that time I slapped the ground like an NCAA tournament game and went, defense. Right after the 2008 collapse, the financial collapse, working in Midtown was just all wealthy Europeans because the American dollar was shit and their money was so much better. The Dos Caminos I worked at was by the Waldorf Astoria, so it'd just be like a ton of wealthy people that would come over for lunch. Some of them would just come in and be like, yeah, fuck your menu. I'm telling you what I want. And this guy came in, him and his wife. But this guy just sat down and was like, a beef steak. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, a beefsteak. I go, well, we don't have just steak. We have...
all of our steak is straight. It's not by.
Sorry, bro. Don't suck no Peter whenever it gets put in its face. Fucking. But I did the thing where I was like, you know, that white bitchy energy where you're like, well, sir, that's not really available. So I was like, we have our steak tacos, our carne asada tacos. We have our carne asada burrito. But he was like, beefsteak. And I was like, we don't have that. We can't just make a steak for you. And he went, ugh. And he got up with his girlfriend or whatever, walked out, and that's when I did the defense. I was looking at the other waiter at the bar. I was like, I fucking got him out of there. Yeah. All legally, all above board, bro. Come and see me. I didn't realize how long we were going. We're done.
Oh, we're done. So
check out the 500 podcast and go to joshadamyers.com for dates. BigJComedy.com for upcoming dates in Kansas City, Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, DanSoder.com. Dan's back on tour in May. Dates up now?
Yeah, dude. Dates are up on the website.
DanSoder.com. Hell to the fuck yeah. And you're doing your Billions thing a little bit this week. But
next couple weeks I'm going to be on and off with Billions, but then come May I'll be done. So it's just us rubbing tips.
And we'll be live for you on Monday.
Yes.
And till then, stay crackling, y'all.
Ooh, I like that. I think that's going to stick.
It's a goodie.